HooHooHooRobin.
We're very happy to have Elijah Wood back in our studio, and Jimmy making him laugh pretty hard, man.
Yeah, we're just talking about travel and getting your trips paid for. How long are you off on this press thing you're doing? Just this week, or are you going for a couple of weeks?
It's just till Sunday.
Okay.
Could you just say what you said off air? Because I think that's hilarious.
Well, it's really weird. I didn't even really mean it to be funny. I just said that I have it's like whenever they pay for you, because they always pay for you to do press, they fly you and they push a nice
fly
hotel
somewhere and you hang out for a couple days and do your thing.
Yeah, it's FX and the movie company. They, take care of them.
Right.
And I just said it's free license. I literally feel like it's a vacation. So I tend to act out sexually a lot when I'm doing promotion. I really do.
But then you said, because I feel like I'm on vacation.
But it does. It feels like everything's paid for, and they treat you nice, and they pick you up, and you're done, Earl. It's fucking great.
It feels sexy.
It just feels like, what better way to end the day than by dehumanizing some poor drug addict.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Oh, God.
Never going to think about these trips the same way again.
No, but yours is probably a healthier way of doing it. Wilfred Season 3 premieres tonight.
That's great. They're
Every
up to
Thursday at
season
10
3.
o'clock.
Yeah.
On FX, which is great, man.
Where did the show leave off? I'm trying to remember now. At the end of the second season.
It left off with the revelation that this drawing that he finds with Wilfred, like a childhood drawing with Wilfred in the corner, that he drew it.
Right.
And so we actually start this season with him analyzing what that potentially means.
Nice.
As he's in this sort of existential questioning nightmare.
I have a theory about the show, which I'll ask Elijah about off air.
Oh.
Not on air.
No spoilers?
No, because I don't want to wreck something.
No, that's a spoiler.
If I'm right.
What, he doesn't have to nod or anything.
Well, there isn't actually a definitive answer yet.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Even amongst the creators. Like, I have a theory. I think the writers have a theory, but no one has actually said, well, this is definitively it.
Okay.
Because even Jason, Jason thinks that Wilfred is a magical being. I don't agree with that. But I think for Jason to play the character from a truthful place, he has to think that the character's real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That seems scary that they don't have it figured out yet, though. Where they're kind of just... They have it figured out, right?
They might have an idea.
I think they have it figured out. It's not like Lostian,
Right,
where they were making it up as they went along. I think the conceit is probably what the conceit is.
Okay.
But it is up for interpretation. And I think the reality is we'll never actually really tell you, because I think that kind of ruins what the show is.
Everyone wants to be told. Everyone wants everything wrapped up in that nice package. But then when it is... then it's like, that was kind of a letdown. Obviously, with what happened with James Gandolfini dying, you think of The Sopranos and how that ended.
Right.
And people were like, oh, what the hell is that? And then as time goes by, you realize how brilliant that ending was.
That ending was incredible.
And what did you want? A slow-motion Sam Peckinpah kind of shootout in the place? It just would have been, so...
Yeah,
you're right. There is something to be said for not giving people exactly what they think they want.
Totally.
At that moment.
See, I think my idea is probably wrong, man.
What's that, Jim?
I thought they were going to show a faraway shot of the dog walking away wearing like a hat, like at the end of Silence of the Lambs, and it says, I'm having an old friend for dinner. And that's the last time.
What awful endings to movies you have.
I know, I really do. I love a good awful ending. Just something that totally wrecks the whole fucking vibe.
I think it's a bit like Harvey. Did you ever see the movie with Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah,
not know.
The rabbit.
Yeah, so he's got this best friend that no one else can see, but only he can see, and at the end of the movie, he gives Harvey to somebody else. But they never explain what Harvey is.
Right.
So
you assume that it isn't a real thing. It's,
right.
some kind of mental thing.
Well, does the person take Harvey, or do they go, what is this? You handed me air.
Well, no, this doctor
Someone
actually
else that needs
sees
him,
Harvey and needs him to better his life.
You've seen that movie too, Ann, huh?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It's a classic.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
Ann has seen everything, literally. It's unbelievable.
Are you a big movie buff?
I grew up on TV, movies,
Yes.
It's just forever. Just
tunnel visioning television as alcoholism raged behind him in the living room.
There were, parental discussions going on while I just focused. That's not how happening. No, that's not happening.
As the spaghetti hits the wall, they were just discussions.
Yeah, they were parental discussions.
Yeah.
Yes, they were very passionate about their opinions. That they threw in the word "you're a fuckface" every so often while giving their opinions.
Well, just to pepper the language.
Block it
Just
out.
focus on Crest toothpaste is the best toothpaste. With another genius. He's the fucking greatest recall for television.
TV was like, growing up, that was my entire life. Go outside. My mother used to have to throw me out of the house to get me out. I was just fixated. Everything. Commercials. Mm-hmm. I just would love watching commercials over and over again. The old cigarette, before they banned cigarette commercials, a little kid just sitting there, singing the Tijuana Smalls jingles and Doral. Remember Doral with the taste chambers? Taste me.
No one else
Come on,
remembers.
taste me. Take a puff and let me do my stuff.
See, this is what we're talking about, Elijah.
Yeah, they were like these things.
He's a Rain Man.
It's incredible.
No one else remembers Dorals.
Dorals had these filters on them, and they were plastic, and they had like a hinge and a clip. So you used to dissect the cigarette, and as a kid, I was like opening it up and making believe it was a space capsule and shit. Yeah, it was just fucking great. I was a psychopath.
They say there's a fine line between genius and douche.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, but then you say remember Dorals. No one else there might be like 5 other guys out
I don't
there.
remember those.
I know.
Do you remember cigarette ads at all?
I do, yeah. Marlboro Man, mostly.
Yeah.
I remember those, but I'm sorry, I just poked him with my fingernail. I don't remember the ads on TV, though. I don't think I remember seeing them on TV.
Oh, yeah, they were on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Absolutely, they were on.
Yeah, they were cool. Especially the ones that marketed to like teenagers and young adults.
Yes, they knew what they were doing.
Cool.
They knew what they were doing.
Kids were partying and smoking.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Cartoon characters.
Yeah, you looked badass smoking cigarettes. If you were watching that commercial and thought that. Now, if you look at kids that are smoking,
it looks ridiculous.
It looks so retarded.
It does, right?
Yeah, they're sitting there and they don't really know how to hold it or
when
to take a drag.
You think we knew how to hold it properly?
No, we looked ridiculous too.
Of course.
What are you going to do though?
Of course.
Well, you got to go through that phase.
I want to ask Elijah about The Hobbit, man. Me and Jimmy saw it. We loved it. I know you were only in it for a couple.
Yeah.
How long? Like maybe 5 minutes?
5 minutes, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the beginning, which was kind of cool because it was kind of like, I remember that from,
right.
Lord of the Rings. That's when he leaves to go and meet Gandalf to take a little ride.
That's the cool thing. It's literally it's like 15 or 20 minutes before that first scene in the first movie.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like it, The Hobbit?
Yeah, I loved it.
It's amazing.
I loved it, man.
And you know what it was also? It was like with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, watching each one. After The Hobbit, right when the end comes, you're like, what? Oh, fuck, it's a trilogy! That's right!
Yeah.
God damn it, how long do I have to wait?
I know.
You get like the dragon little eye opens
when
and you're
things
like,
are kicking ass.
oh man.
The island. It's like, now we got to wait a year? It's about a year, right?
It's a year, yeah.
It's a year.
So it'll be December this year.
Solid.
All right, we're getting there.
Solid year, yeah.
Well, they're done with it, right?
We're about halfway through.
They're done making it.
No, well, they shot all of it at the same time, same thing that we did for Rings, but then midway through the editing process of the first one, they realized that they had to split it into 3 films. So they had to go back and shoot additional footage for the third film, and I think a bit for the second, which we did on Rings. We continued to shoot even after the fact, because they would basically like have the luxury of looking at a cut, see what's missing, see what isn't working, and then add new stuff.
Was there instances where technology itself would kind of advance, and then you'd be like, well, now we got to do that over again, or we got to at least put it in post-production in some way, shape, or form?
I think that did happen. I think initially, actually during the film, they were shooting footage of fire for the purpose of using that and to digitize that. Over the course of the shooting, they wrote the program for fire.
Okay, yeah.
Like a better program for fire.
So it's better fire than fire.
That happened along the way.
Yeah. I watching the documentary, all the footage that came with the DVDs and everything, you realize...
get lost in those documentaries.
Totally, man. I've spent weeks watching those things.
Yeah.
And you realize how at the forefront of that technology... Peter and all the people
it still
involved in it is. It's amazing. It looks great.
It doesn't look
really
dated.
does. Yeah.
No.
And now you got a movie also, Maniac?
Yeah.
And this is a remake of a movie from
1980 film.
80s.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And it's a little dark.
Yeah, just a little.
It's a tad dark.
Yeah, it's basically about a serial killer. It's about a guy who stalks women and kills them and keeps their scalps on mannequins.
It is honestly the weirdest film I've ever jerked off to. But I got to tell you,
But you did it on vacation, so that's all right.
That's true.
But there's scalping in it. And there was one in particular, they're all really fucking graphic. But there's one in particular where it just, it violated me. Like it was, and I'm saying that in a good way, it was really uncomfortable to watch. And gore movies don't ever freak me out. But there was one where it's like, he's really fucking scalping this woman. And you know he's not. But it was,
Which one was it?
I want to say it was the second one. Not the,
The girl in her apartment, the young girl? Yeah.
I think it was that. It was something about the way they shot it with the straight razor.
I think that was the second one.
And you could hear it. You could hear it,
crunchy,
and you could see it being lifted off, kind of like almost like a moving head. And it was just
the sound design on that is really brutal.
horrendous.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you play an absolute fucking creep in that movie.
Yes.
What, with dirty fucking I'm like, why do chicks want to bang him? His fingers and hands were dirty, red knuckles. Like,
yeah.
Even his hands are creepy. So, there was some really, really great gore in that. I quite enjoyed that.
You normally play likable guys
For the most part,
For the most part.
Yeah.
So
that's continued.
Anything anything different you had to do? Psych yourself up, or is it pretty much, hey, here's my part?
Well, this was an interesting role because it was largely not on camera. The movie is actually in a mostly POV. About 80% of the film is in POV.
Was that the way the 1980 movie was, too?
No.
Oh, okay. This is just
which is partly why I wanted to do this. Because I don't love remakes, specifically movies that don't do anything different or don't have a perspective that's unique. So the fact that they wanted to shoot this in POV and that the killer would only really be seen in reflections was really exciting. So therefore, the approach is a little bit different. It was kind of largely technical on set, except for those very specific character moments where you see the character. Right. And then a lot of it was re-recorded, like all the dialogue we re-recorded, and I felt like the real character work happened there, because it's all of the stuff of, a sense of presence, his own inner dialogue, and I was able to kind of work with the nuances of what the character was. But it was a lot of fun.
There was a couple of moments where they all of a sudden the camera's just looking at you in the parking lot, and it was like, I wonder why they did that. I didn't mind it, but I was like wondering.
So the kills, the idea behind that was this notion that people talk about having out of body experiences. Some serial killers have referred to that. So it was kind of a nod to that and a way to see the character do those sort of heinous things.
And there's a great Achilles slash.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that's one of the most brutal things.
Those are terrible in movies. There's been a couple of them. Yeah, Pet Sematary is a good one too, where old Herman Munster got Herman Munster.
But this is a brutal one, and she's wearing heels, which are just perfect for an Achilles slash, and it's a gash. The way it was shot and those scenes were really, really well done. It's very difficult to make me cringe watching a movie physically. Yeah. Because I've seen real live things, on the Live Leak or whatever, that are worse, and these were really fucking horrible.
I think what's interesting too is that as an audience member, to a certain degree, you're kind of complicit in what this guy's doing because you're looking at everything through his eyes.
You're in it,
and that was exciting to me. The idea that you'd be made to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You
also, and plus seeing you do it and knowing it was you, and then seeing your reflection, it was a very out of character. Even though you're playing a character, everybody knows you, and it was definitely odd to see. And pleasant. I mean, it was nice.
Cool.
I love to see guys doing that. I always wish Eddie Murphy had played a rapist or a murderer, because he's a good actor.
That does sound a little odd.
But you know what I mean? Because Eddie's a really good actor, but he's always playing the same likable dude. Like, you always enjoy him, and he's great. Yeah, he's great at what he does. But he's a talented, like Pryor played, different serious roles. Well, I wish Murphy would have done that, because I think it would have been a tremendous shock to the system.
Yeah, I mean, I think as an actor, it's I certainly can only operate this way, that I have to do things that are different than things I've done before. I just have to continue to challenge myself, and And also, it by doing other things that people aren't as familiar with in regards to what you've done before, it also just helps to create more opportunities to continue to expand.
Yeah, there is that word comic actor that if sometimes people have tried to go from that to serious acting and they've literally been laughed at.
I thought Jim Carrey has made
Jim Carrey did a pretty good job.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, of course.
Well, he's a fucking...
Yeah, Robin
Juilliard
Williams.
trained, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, he's really good at serious acting as well.
Adam Sandler, not so much.
But has he tried?
However, Punch Drunk Love,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
performance in Punch Drunk Love was phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. I might have to give you that one.
It's great.
Yeah. I kind of like the one where he has his twin sister. That was serious, right?
What was that film called?
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill. Well, yikes.
That was uncomfortable. The trailer was uncomfortable to watch,
Yeah.
even.
Well, it wasn't funny, so if he was acting, it wasn't as a comic actor. Yeah,
It's a big jump.
All right, he had one.
Yeah,
he had
it's
one.
gotta be.
All right, he had a bomb. He had one bomb.
Oh, please. All right.
He's blown us off, so you can see where this is coming from.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? What was
He's
it?
made for our show.
What were the seeds of discontent?
No reason. He used to call our show here and there, but no reason. We're perfect for.
We just get our feelings hurt.
Like,
we really do.
Like Adam Sandler blew you guys off, and I'm here. Jesus Christ, I'm leaving.
Dude, as I was walking into the studio, I was like, man, I come here every year for Wilfred. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it.
It's a great show.
So
too.
TV interviews are so weird too, because like here it's a much you're good on this show because it's a free form just chat, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys come in actors and then or musicians or whatever, and they don't know how to do more than 7 minutes because they're so used to a quick character discussion. Well, it's about this and how was everybody? Oh, the crew was a hoot. You know, boom, boom, boom. It's out there, and they don't know how to do like a regular
To actually interact with people and have a normal conversation.
Yeah. A lot of them don't. It's really weird.
That's
man.
funny.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's conditioning, I think, probably. You know, you just get conditioned to a certain thing, and that's what's expected of you. And
Right.
You've been doing
I
this
find it
for-
more comfortable to have a real conversation, because sometimes those like late night talk shows, they can be great, but there's also like a format. You know, you have a
Right.
pre-interview, you actually get, you know, the segment producer comes up to you and says, so this is what we're going to talk about. So you kind of have to like fit within these parameters.
Yeah.
And I like when that gets thrown away and you can actually just have a genuine interaction. There's much less pressure associated.
I think some
with
of
it.
the most classic moments on those talk shows are when the script went out the window and they got off on a tangent and they have a real moment and a real conversation,
Totally.
and those end up on the highlight reels and everything else. So
Totally.
yeah.
Fallon's really good at that.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I'm on Fallon's show, I have a real conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. love the
We just
guy.
go off on a tangent, and it's wonderful.
He's great.
He's awesome.
I love Fallon.
I'm nervous about the Tonight Show, though.
Oh, yeah.
I love him so much, and I'm so excited for the opportunity, because it's a
Right.
huge opportunity.
Yeah.
But I love what he's so created an amazing niche for himself with his show, and I feel like he's really defined what that show is. And my concern is that what that other show needs, because of the time slot, because of the history that name has associated with it, and the audience that watches that show is so different than with the people that watch Fallon's show.
Yeah.
I'm glad
understand.
they're keeping it in New York. I feel like that'll help continue to.
That'll be different because we haven't seen that in many, many years, obviously.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. He'll have to go a little more mainstream with his bits and stuff.
I worry. They maintain that they're not going to, and you know, I'm sure it'll be an awesome show. But
Right.
I love what he's done.
You've been
It's
doing
great.
interviews and stuff for forever, for years, your whole life. I mean, starting as a very young actor.
Yeah.
When you were put in that situation where you would have to sit down and conduct an interview as a child, thinking back on that now, do you go like, boy, I really handled myself well, or are you like, oh boy, I'm just a dopey kid out there? Like, how do you see yourself as a child having been put in that situation? Do you think you did a good job?
I haven't watched any of those interviews in a long time.
Really?
My memory is that I handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
I actually remember being on David Letterman's show, and I knew going into it that David was kind of petrified with kids on the show.
Really?
Because he was worried that they wouldn't talk.
Right,
You know?
yeah,
so
yeah.
he ended up driving the conversation, and I remember he asked me a couple questions, and I just started answering. He kind of cut me off and started because he just wanted to keep it going.
Yeah.
And I stopped him. And I was like, man, you cut me off. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 or something.
Wow.
And it was pretty great. Like, I just remember actually having a genuine banter with him.
The audience must have lost it.
It was
at that
pretty
point.
funny.
He probably liked it too. Letterman probably liked it too. He probably liked the little slam.
I think he did. My memory is that he did.
Yeah.
I was on the Arsenio Hall show too.
Wow. Yeah.
Way back.
Jeez, that is going back.
How old were you then, you think?
Man.
I think I was probably 10 or 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arsenio.
I'd have to go back and
The
look
Radio
at it.
Flyer days or
Around
something.
that time, yeah.
What year is that?
1991,
Did
92.
you ever do Carson?
I did, yes.
Oh wow, man, you fuck.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. It's
I know, he's not even that old.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's a great one to have done Carson.
I think I did Craig Kilborn too.
Wow.
Remember him from the original
Yeah.
host of the Daily Show?
Yes.
Right.
Wow, that's right.
Then he spawned his own show for a while that didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Jon Stewart did something with the
Yeah,
Daily
he kinda
Show.
made
Well, yeah,
that
came from
going on.
MTV.
Yeah, stepped into something
Kind of
over there.
amazing because it almost erased the memory of what that show was.
Absolutely.
So he's so established it as something else.
And Fallon, I think Fallon will do well because he's different than Kimmel. Like Fallon is truer in his nature to what the Tonight Show is than probably what Kimmel does or what Letterman does. I think Kimmel and Letterman might be more similar, and Fallon and Leno might be more similar.
I think you're right.
So,
Yeah, I think universally, I think Fallon's more acceptable to the American public.
People
He's
like him
very
a lot,
fresh-faced, nice kind of.
They love him.
Yeah, he's not doing anything on there that anyone would really find offensive.
No, there's
Yeah.
there's a goodness to him. He connects with everybody.
He doesn't have a
Yeah,
bad
he's
bone in his body. We
No,
all know that.
genuinely
Yeah.
nice guy.
He's one of the most enthusiastic dudes I've ever met.
Right?
Yeah. He's so psyched.
He's so
All the
psyched.
time. So psyched. It's great. And it's so genuine, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
it's hard to have. I've only done his show once, but it's like you can't have a bad interview with him because I know I just probably jinxed my next appearance.
Yeah, fucking bomb.
Death.
But I'm doing it tonight.
Oh, yeah?
You are? Okay.
He does have such enthusiasm, and he's a fun guy. It's like he wants it to go well, and they all do, but he's not jaded at all, and he's not going to leave you hanging. And he was a very fun guy. He said, just come on the show sometime. And I was like, all right. I never follow up because people are just being polite. But then next time I saw him, he's like, how come you haven't come on the show? I really wanted you to come. Like, he was being very genuine.
Oh.
So I was like, immediately, and I just, what's your cell number? And it became, what about Bob? I just hassled him. Begged.
You said you want me on your show.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
following
boy.
up about the show.
Yeah, I handed
He's
him a card.
back.
Here's my pride and joy.
Oh, yeah. Rupert Pupkin.
Yeah. Marvelous. So you start tonight. How many episodes of Willard do you have? Wilfred, I'm sorry.
That's all right. There are 13 episodes, and there are 2 tonight. 2 that air.
The first 2, I guess.
First 2.
Yeah.
That was a real
10 o'clock on
TV
FX.
insider I am. The first 2 are airing tonight.
No, it's the first one and the
first and
last
the,
one. And then you,
7th one.
You watch all the in-between ones.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
course.
How did they get to the end?
Yeah.
Now watch the rest of the season to figure it out.
Yeah, the fill in the blank 11, we call it. Truly am an idiot.
Isn't it? It's got to be more comfortable for you working than it is working on the standard networks. You get away with a lot more and stuff.
yeah.
We were talking about that earlier because of again the Sopranos and stuff. Kind of really put network television in the toilet because they showed what you could do with
show
a
almost
series.
started it all. You know, between that and 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're in a golden age of
Yes.
cable TV now.
Absolutely.
It's extraordinary, and they paved the way for the writers and the directors and the actors from the film world to come onto television now.
It used to be like
if
you
it
don't want to
hadn't
do
been for those
television.
shows,
That's right.
we wouldn't
Yes.
be where we are. It's really incredible. HBO kind of really paved that ground.
Chris Albrecht and Carolyn Strauss, who started, I mean, they're doing well now, too, with HBO, with Game of Thrones.
Oh God, dude, I'm obsessed
huge,
with that
right?
show.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Exactly.
I really want to sleep with Khaleesi.
doesn't?
I know.
Come on.
Exactly.
Went out on a limb
Or
there.
any number of the women on that show.
Absolutely. And half of the men. I mean,
Don't you just want to hang out in the whorehouse in King's Landing?
oh, that's all I want to do.
Just
As long as someone's paying for his
or the
trip.
one. Do you remember the one? Right. It's exactly. Do you remember the one scene where they put that young guy with all of the whores, and then they came back saying that he didn't have to pay for
yes,
anything.
I do.
And she wouldn't reveal why.
Yes, I do remember that.
God, bastard.
I remember that well, and I've always wanted to be that guy, and I've never been that guy. I'm the dwarf.
Except on vacation.
Except on vacation. What?
They're saying we have to wrap up. I don't know.
No,
He's very busy. You got a lot of press.
What's going on? He's got to leave?
He's got a live interview at 9:30.
With who? With who?
With Cosmo.
Oh, forget.
Oh.
You don't have to worry.
Cosmo?
You don't have to worry about Cosmo.
Yeah,
Stay
you don't
here.
have to worry about
Exactly. He's talking into a tin can, and there's attached to a string on somebody on the other end. Sorry, not to shit on Cosmo.
You just did.
Oh, terrific.
Well, terribly.
They've been very nice to us.
No, they have they?
Yeah, she came in and drank tequila with us.
Oh, that
I forgot her name, though.
Tequila
Yeah, of course she did.
Huh?
She had nothing else to
Do
do.
you guys drink
Taylor.
tequila in here?
I
We
don't.
try not to.
Well, no. E-Rock decided to do a bit called Tequila and Donuts on a Friday, and he got... How many shots did you do,
I
E-Rock?
think it was 13.
13 shots of
hammered.
tequila.
Oh my
And then proceeded to tell us all what he thought about us.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
I got
Yeah.
the old. I know you don't like me, but I really want you to, and stuff. And then
the truth just came barreling out.
and then
We loved it. We
His
loved it.
crying. He started crying.
Was this on air?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Fantastic.
It was so
it was wonderful.
embarrassing. So
It
embarrassing.
was wonderful. At one point, we go, "Why are you crying?" He goes, "I'm not." He didn't know he was crying,
He goes,
and
"I
the
didn't
tears were
even know."
pouring down his
I
face.
didn't even
It wasn't
know
even a
why.
little bit; it was
Oh, it
pouring.
was terrible.
That's excellent.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was utter humiliation.
horribly wonderful. Horribly wonderful.
But anyway, Taylor from Cosmo came in and she did some shots. So we're just making jokes. We like her.
Yeah,
She'll do a great job with you.
Yeah.
Well, let's promote properly.
Yeah.
We like
Elijah
Elijah
Wood.
very much.
Wonderful, yeah.
He's Wood Elijah on Twitter.
That's right.
And Maniac, which really is a very disturbing film. It's June 21st it opens, and I saw it. And again, I don't get squeamish very easily, but there were a couple of moments in that film that were honestly violating.
It's on iTunes too.
Oh, okay,
Friday.
really?
Cool.
Simultaneous VOD release.
Okay.
Nice.
And Wilfred, the third season premieres tonight at 10 o'clock. There's 2 episodes. 1 and 6 are on. Fucking asshole question.
I'm
that
One and
was.
two, Jimmy.
I'm also DJing on Sunday at the Firefly Music Festival in Dover. Just throwing that
Wow.
out there.
And you
Really?
You're becoming
That's
a well-known DJ too, right? How did that
that's
happen?
happening. I've been DJing on and off for like 10
Right.
years, and it's always been something that I've done just for fun.
Right.
I never really took it seriously until people started to take it seriously.
And now you have to take it seriously.
But it's still
That's awesome.
an extension of my love of music. And
Do you play the Macarena? That's always a hit at the party. Everybody does it.
well, I play with records, which these days
yeah.
less and less people seem to be playing vinyl.
A lot of your
so.
tweets are music oriented.
Yeah.
And really, really informative. But that's got to be something if somebody's just fucking rolling on X and they go into the club and it's like, fucking Frodo is spinning tonight. Like, just loses their
They
mind.
just turn around and leave. Like, I gotta go home.
I gotta go
can't
home.
handle
I'm
this.
hallucinating.
He's going, yeah. It's happening.
Have you played any of the new Black Sabbath?
I've listened to it. I listened to it streaming on. I think they streamed it on iTunes. It sounds remarkably like Old Sabbath.
Yeah.
It's I need to give it another listen
Yeah.
to like find
Sure.
the merit in the new songs. Just on a sonic level, it's very much like the old.
Yeah. Number 1 in the U.S., number 1 in
Rick
England,
Rubin's
Germany.
great at
Yeah,
that. He's
he is.
incredible at being able to capture what the essence of, especially for artists who haven't made something like they used to in
Right.
a long time.
Yeah.
He's great at capturing what they're all about. Apparently, he sat them all down and played them their first couple of records. They're like, okay, guys, this is what you were. This is what we're going to try and accomplish.
Yeah.
Wow,
Which
no
is
kidding.
fucking smart.
Right.
It's great.
Forget about all the in-between stuff. Ozzy, forget about that mullet-headed disco phase you went
Yeah.
through and all that.
Forget
We're going
the
back
Bette Midler
to...
look and Shot at the Dark. But yeah, it worked. He got them to go back. It was
It's great.
He's
The
a brilliant
dynamics are
guy.
there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the things that you're familiar with. The drum sounds are a little different.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think they made a good choice with Brad Wilk. I mean, if they had to pick a drummer, I mean, they picked a good one.
Yeah,
And that was
definitely.
Rick's call.
A solid, competent drummer.
All right,
Did you
kids.
guys love the Daft Punk record?
I didn't listen to it.
Oh my god, it's album of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Daft Punk?
You just called it Album of the Year.
I think it's the album of the year.
Yeah.
I
It's
give it to
extraordinary.
13.
Elijah Wood, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. It's
Yeah,
always a pleasure.
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
All right.